Most people get this wrong when starting a company in Belgium. They think it is just about filling a form online and getting a business number. But here's the truth no one tells you. In Belgium, one small mistake in your legal structure or registration process can delay your business for months and cost you thousands in corrections. And if you are watching this, you are probably planning to start a business in Belgium in 2026. Maybe you are an international founder. Maybe you are moving from India, the US, or another EU country. Or maybe you are just exploring your options. Either way, this guide will walk you through everything step by step in the simplest way possible. In the next few minutes you will understand exactly how to register a company in Belgium, which legal structure to choose, how taxes work, how much money you actually need, and the mistakes most beginners make that get them stuck before they even start operating. And stick around, because in a minute, I'll show you the exact company structure that most foreign founders choose in Belgium to save taxes and reduce paperwork legally. Now let's start from the beginning. Belgium is one of the most business-friendly countries in Europe, especially if you want access to the EU market. You get strong legal protection, stable banking, and easy access to neighboring markets like France, Germany, and the Netherlands. But here's the problem. The system is very structured. That means you must follow the correct legal steps in the correct order. So let's break it down step by step. The first step is choosing the right business structure. In Belgium, the most common structure for entrepreneurs is the private limited company, which is called a BV or Besloten Vennootschap in Dutch, or SRL in French. This is the default choice for most startups, freelancers scaling up, and international founders. Now here's where it gets interesting. You can also operate as a sole trader, which is called a eenmanszaak. This is easier and cheaper to set up, but it comes with unlimited liability. That means if your business fails, or gets sued, your personal assets are at risk. So imagine a person named Alex starting a small consulting business. If Alex chooses sole trader status and something goes wrong financially, Alex is personally responsible. But if Alex chooses a BV structure, the company is separate from personal finances. That separation is the biggest reason most people choose BV. But here's the catch. A BV requires more setup steps, more legal documentation, and usually a notary. Now before you get overwhelmed, don't worry. I'm going to simplify everything so you can follow it easily. The second step is preparing your business plan and financial plan. In Belgium, especially for a BV, you need to show that your company is financially viable. This is called a financial plan, and it is mandatory at incorporation. This is where most people fail. They underestimate this step and submit weak plans. Then the notary rejects it, or banks hesitate to open accounts. A good financial plan includes your expected revenue, your expenses, your startup capital, and your projected cash flow for at least 2 years. For example, let's say Jake wants to open a digital marketing agency in Brussels. Jake would estimate monthly clients, advertising costs, software subscriptions, and salary expectations. The goal is not perfection. The goal is realism. Now here's the important part. You don't need to be an accountant to do this. But you do need clarity. Because this document is legally important when forming a BV. Now let's move to step 3, choosing your company name and checking availability. This sounds simple, but there is a hidden issue here. In Belgium, your company name must be unique and compliant with the Crossroads Bank for Enterprises database. If your name is too similar to another registered company, it can be rejected. So before you get attached to a brand name, you need to verify it. For example, if John wants to register Eurotech Solutions, he must first check if that name already exists or is too similar. If it is, John will need to adjust it slightly or choose a new brand identity. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Many founders actually secure domain names and social media handles before finalizing legal registration. This avoids branding issues later. Once your name is ready, you move to the next step. Step 4 is working with a notary. This is a key difference between Belgium and many other countries. To register a BV, you need a notary to draft and validate the incorporation deed. The notary prepares legal documents that define your company structure, shareholders, capital, and governance rules. Think of the notary as the legal gatekeeper. Without them, your company cannot officially exist as a BV. This is also where you submit your financial plan. Now here's the problem many foreigners face. They assume they can do everything online. But in Belgium, this step is semi-official and requires legal validation. So expect at least one meeting with a notary, either in person or sometimes digitally depending on your residency status. Once the notary finalizes the deed, your company moves to registration. Step 5 is registering with the Crossroads Bank for Enterprises, also known as the KBO.do. This is the official database where all Belgian companies are listed. Once registered, you receive a unique company number. This number is extremely important. It acts like your business identity in Belgium. You will use it for taxes, invoices, banking and contracts. Now here's a key moment in the process. Once you get your company number, your business legally exists. But you are still not fully operational yet. Because now you need VAT registration. Step 6 is VAT registration. In Belgium, most companies must register for VAT unless they are under a specific exemption threshold. VAT is a tax added to goods and services. Once registered, you charge VAT on invoices and later submit it to the government. For example, if Alex runs a consulting business and charges €1,000, VAT may add an additional percentage depending on the rate. Alex collects it from the client and later reports it to tax authorities. Now here's where many beginners get confused. VAT registration is not optional for most active businesses. And if you forget it, you can face penalties. So this step is critical. Next comes step 7, opening a business bank account. Every Belgian company needs a separate business bank account. This is mandatory for financial transparency. Banks in Belgium are strict, especially with foreign founders. They may ask for your business plan, identity documents, and proof of address. This is where preparation matters. If your documents are clean and your business idea is clear, approval is usually smooth. But if something is missing, delays can happen. Now here's a practical tip. Some banks are more startup friendly than others. So choosing the right bank can save you time. Once your bank account is active, your company is fully operational. But there is still one more major step most people forget. Step 8 is Social Security and Insurance registration. If you are self-employed or a company director, you must register with a social insurance fund. This ensures access to healthcare, pension contributions, and legal compliance. Many new entrepreneurs ignore this step until they get fined. So do not skip it. Now let's talk about taxes because this is where things really matter. In Belgium, corporate tax is applied to company profits. The standard rate is competitive within Europe, but you must also consider social contributions and VAT obligations. Here's the simple way to understand it. Your company earns revenue. You subtract expenses. You calculate profit. Then tax is applied. But here's the interesting part. With proper accounting, many legal deductions can reduce your taxable income. Things like business expenses, software tools, travel costs, and professional services can often be deducted. That is why having a good accountant in Belgium is not optional. It is essential. Now let's talk about costs, because this is what most people want to know. Starting a company in Belgium is not free. You will have notary fees, registration costs, bank setup costs, and possible accounting fees. For a BV structure, initial setup costs are higher compared to sole trader registration. But in return, you get limited liability and stronger credibility. Now here's a retention moment for you. In a minute, I'll show you the biggest mistake foreign founders make when starting a company in Belgium that causes banking rejection or tax delays. But first, let's talk about common mistakes. One major mistake is underestimating legal documentation. Many founders rush the process and submit incomplete financial plans. This slows everything down. Another mistake is choosing the wrong structure. Some people start as sole traders just to save time, then switch later. But switching later can create tax complications. Another mistake is ignoring language differences. Belgium has Dutch, French, and German administrative systems, depending on region. So documentation can vary. Now here's the big one. The biggest mistake foreign entrepreneurs make is not aligning their business activity with their legal structure and bank profile. If your business description does not match your financial plan or bank application, banks may flag your account for review. This alone can delay operations for weeks. So consistency is key. Now let's simplify everything into a clear flow so you can remember it easily. You choose your structure. You prepare your financial plan. You select your company name. You work with a notary. You register your company. You activate VAT. You open a bank account. You register for Social Security. And then, you operate legally. That is the full system. And once everything is set up, Belgium becomes a very strong base for doing business in Europe. You get access to EU markets, strong legal protection, and a stable economic environment. Now let's talk about timelines. On average, if everything is prepared properly, company formation in Belgium can take a few days to a few weeks depending on complexity, notary availability, and bank approval speed. Foreign founders sometimes take longer, but most delays come from documentation issues, not the system itself. So preparation is everything. Now let's wrap this up clearly. Starting a company in Belgium in 26 is absolutely possible for both locals and international founders. The process is structured, but not complicated if you follow it step by step. The key is choosing the right legal structure, preparing your financial plan properly, and ensuring your documentation is consistent across all applications. If you do that correctly, you avoid most problems and set your business up for long-term success in Europe. And here's the final takeaway. Belgium rewards preparation, not speed. The more careful you are at the start, the smoother your business journey becomes later. If you found this helpful, like this video, drop a comment with your country and business idea, and subscribe for more step-by-step guides like this. This is exactly the kind of clarity most new founders need before starting in Europe.